Reclaiming screens has to be one of the most tedious parts of screen printing. But if you use the right cleaners and follow the right steps, your reclaim process can be super easy. To start the reclaim process, you'll need a washout booth and cleaning chemicals. We're using screen green chemicals to reclaim our screens. A pressure washer will make your life a whole lot easier. If you don't have one, a hose with a pressurized spout will work fine, but a pressure washer is definitely gonna make it a lot faster and easier on you. Each cleaning chemical you use should have its own scrub brush. Label them with the chemical they're gonna be used for so you don't get them mixed up. If you've used screen chemicals before, you'll notice that each bottle has a number on it. These numbers correspond to the steps in the clean and reclaim process. We're gonna follow those steps to get the best reclaimed screen possible. The first step is cleaning ink from the screen. This should be done on press or in a dedicated space so you don't send ink down the drain. Supreme Wash is a great on-press cleaner if you're gonna be doing a color change or if you're going to use that same screen again and you don't need to reclaim it. Card off excess ink when you're done with your print run, spray Supreme Wash onto the screen, and then wipe it with a rag, and then you're good to go. For water-based inks, use Aqua Wash. But if you are gonna be doing a full reclaim, use Screen Ink Degrader to get all of that ink out of the screen. The process is still the same regardless. Emulsion remover is pretty self-explanatory. It removes emulsion. Once you've completed step 1 and your screen is ink-free, spray some emulsion remover onto the screen. Grab your emulsion remover scrub pad and scrub it in a circular motion on both sides of the screen until you see that stencil begin to soften. You can apply a decent amount of pressure, but not too much. Once you've scrubbed with the emulsion remover, let it sit on the screen for about 30 seconds to continue loosening the emulsion. Try not to let it completely dry it out on your screen. Then pressure wash from the bottom up on the t-shirt side of the screen. Don't put the pressure washer right up to the screen or you can damage the mesh. 12 inches is a good starting point and you can move a little bit closer as needed. Your emulsion should wash out pretty easily. Repeat this step on any emulsion that is still holding on. Now, let's move on to dehazing. Sometimes you'll have a ghost image on your screen that's left after you've removed the emulsion. This is where either Screen Haze Remover or Screen Stuff works really well. They both work the same way. Once you finish removing the emulsion, pour a generous amount of Screen Stuff or Screen Haze Remover onto your screen. Scrub both sides with a dedicated scrub brush and make sure to scrub near the edges of the screen. Let it sit for up to 3 minutes, then pressure wash from the bottom up, then flood rinse. The water should cascade down the screen like a sheet. These products are both haze removers and degreasers. If you don't have something that does both, you might need a separate degreaser. If you're having any trouble with fisheyes, pinholes, or if you want to take an extra step to ensure that your screens are practically perfect, use a degreaser to get your screen ready for your next job. If you use Screen Stuff or Dehaze, you probably won't need to do this since they are both degreasers and dehazers. But this will further minimize any chemical spots or anything left on the screen. Spray a generous amount onto your screen and scrub both sides. Let it sit for up to 3 minutes, then flood rinse. Once you've completed all 4 steps, wipe off the frames with a hand towel or rag. Try not to let the towel touch the mesh of the screen because you can get the fibers on the screen that will cause issues when you try to coat it next time. Dry your screen in a safe area like a drying cabinet or a screen rack. Use fans so the screens can dry properly. We would love to hear any tips y'all have on reclaiming screens. Like and subscribe if this helped you out and comment any tips on how you reclaim below.